Pacquiao outside the ring seems very different from the Pacquiao way before. Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
For me, it's good and bad, right? So he had a lot of bad habits, and he had a lot of good habits. Right, so at one time he would gamble maybe a little bit too much because I was afraid. I don't like that because I don't want my fighter just to be broke at the end of the career. He gambled too much. He maybe drank a little bit too much. He definitely chased girls a little bit too much. But maybe his testosterone level is lower now also, and that might be taken away from his killer instinct. So that's 3-1. All right, his wife's happy. His family's really happy. They read the Bible every day, which probably couldn't be the worst thing in the world to do. They're very dedicated to their religion. Does he have the killer instinct he once had? I have to answer honestly, I don't think so. But he feels that it's enough to beat the person. You don't have to kill him or knock him out. So that's kind of where we're at right now, and I think that's what we have to live with right now. I was surprised his last fight when he heard his opponent and he jumped on him. He tried to get him out of there, but then he went back to that nicer mode. And I thought we had a moment, but it didn't happen. But the thing is, he's so explosive though. When he hurts somebody, I think his natural response is to finish him. But we don't have, like, that doesn't happen for a long time. So there's good and bad in his life, yes. Probably more good than bad though. Because the bad things we're gonna like make him broke at the end, and like his wife hating him and his baby kids not, I think he's made some good choices.
Are you surprised that Floyd went up to him at the basketball game and went to his room to talk to him afterwards? What did you think of that whole sequence? And do you think that's probably the reason why things got where they are now?
No, I think that Floyd, at the Clipper game, they fucking people were all over.
Yeah.
I think he got embarrassed enough to go to that game because he knew Manny was going to be there, and he had the chance to confront Manny. Wow. I think it was all planned. It was a good thing. To me, it was good because getting them two together is how this fight's going to be made.
Talk about that killer instinct, not the same, but do you think he'll come back for a Floyd fight? Do you think that fire light under him is given how big of a fight that is?
Training camp will have no problem. He'll be in the best shape of his life. We won't alter that at all. We won't lose any of that. If he hurts him, it could get in the way, yes.